The pitch to the sideline, the calls that shape the game. Welcome to Excellence in Action, the referee show here on Islandstats.com, where we dabble in the world of officiating, dissect the decisions, and celebrate the men and women in the middle. Join us each week as we chat with top officials, analyze controversial moments, and explore the challenges and triumphs of being a referee. Get inside perspective on the rules, the pressure, and the split-second judgments that can make or break a match. It's more than just whistles and flags, it's excellence in action. Now let's get to the show. Well, good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Excellence in Action. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is none other than Dunstan. I'm sorry, Dunstan. and Rais. Rais, can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, good stuff. All righty. Okay, well, young man, I always start with when I speak to youngsters such as yourselves. Thank you very much for volunteer, or not volunteer, but putting up your time to join the referee group, the referee family. Rice, let me ask you, what has your time been like with now being an official? Obviously, because all your friends will be just playing, when you're doing double duty.
Well, it's been very good so far. It's good to be in the middle. It can be difficult at times, but so far I haven't had many problems.
Okay, and Dunstan, you've been doing this for a few years now. What has changed in your view from the time you started to now?
Um, I mean the game changes a lot every year. There's new rules and everything. And I have to get accustomed to that.
Okay, and now let me ask you, what is it like when you're not an official and you're actually playing? What are those times like? And right, you can start there.
Um, it's just good to you have better understanding for what the referee has to go through when you're watching games or playing in them.
Yeah, yeah. And Dunstan, you played in the final just the other day. So evaluate the referee.
Well, I try my best to focus on my own game. And there was some big decisions he had to make. Which did decide the outcome of the game. But sometimes you just have to move on, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What excites you, Dunstan, about officiating?
I just have a passion for it. I like it, and I like being a part of the game. Football in general, whether that's playing or being an official. So to go out every week and officiate some top games in Bermuda, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, and Race, why did you get involved in officiating?
Initially it was something with my school. They held a referee course with the BFA, and I just decided to try it out to see just what it's like to be the referee and not the player.
Uh, and when you went in, what were your expectations? What did you think you would learn, or what did you hope you would learn?
At the time didn't have too much passion of going farther with it. I just wanted to get to know the rules better for when I actually played.
Hmm. Yeah. So in that course, what kind of turned the key that said to you, "This is something I think I'd like to do"?
Um, it was mainly just, well, part of it was the money.
That's fine. That's fine.
And it was just another perspective. Just get to know the game better.
Mm. Dunstan, Bermuda has been engulfed in international football for the last couple of months. Um, what are some of the things you've picked up from, if you've been able to see
Yes, yeah.
the international officials in action? What are some of the things you've been able to pick up from them that you kind of pushed into, how you would like to officiate?
Well, against Curacao, couple last game against Curacao, Bermuda played Curacao. The referee was Tori Penso. She did the last Women's World Cup final. I feel like she handles herself very well. She's definitely one of the best um, referees in the world, including men's and women's football. And I just I look up to people like that and try to implement some of her things into my game, officiating. So to watch people like her referee Bermuda games and games in Bermuda, I like to see those people come.
Now it's very interesting because a lot of people wouldn't have known that she was the Women's World Cup final referee because a lot of people only worry about the players, but the opportunity to be in the same presence as someone who officiated a World Cup final. Now you have that kind of on your resume that you've actually, had conversations, rubbed shoulders, been able to see that type of stuff. But how does you hearing me say that? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I think it makes me definitely feel good that I've like I've got to see her ref. People that play for Bermuda all the time, and it really shows the high level that Bermuda wants to be at with football in general. So to I feel like it's a big confidence booster.
Mm. Right? You've had the opportunity, obviously, to train with someone like Amari Matrix, who's doing CONCACAF and FIFA refereeing overseas. You also have the likes of Stephen Mabry and Clinton Haywood. But just working with those guys off and on, not every week, but off and on. What has that experience been like for you?
Whenever I have games with them or I train with them, I try to watch what they do to like analyze what I can do to improve my own game.
Mhm.
And it's really nice having the opportunity to ref alongside FIFA qualified people.
Yeah. Now, you guys probably don't understand what I'm going to say, or maybe you do, but you are keeping Bermuda football alive by volunteer by putting your hand up and becoming officials at a very very young age. How does that make you feel personally? Anyone can answer.
Um, I think I mean we're doing a service for the game, but at the end of the day it's all about like the players here. The the attention's not supposed to be on the referee. We don't want the attention on us. We want the attention on the players, and ultimately that helps out the game. If you have a good referee, you have a good game. So yeah, I feel like that's how we're doing a service
Yeah.
for the game.
What about you, Ray?
It's just football is pretty big in Bermuda, so it just feels nice to help out with keeping football running because without the refs there wouldn't be any games.
So true, so true. Without you guys, it wouldn't be any games because it'd be two less. But what excites you now about officiating? When you know, and then Mr. Williams sends you where you're going. What excites you about a game on a weekend? Right?
Um, just just excites me for getting to see new, just be with other refs again, analyze what they're doing different, meeting new people as well, and just doing the reffings. very
Yeah.
exciting.
Sure. What excites you, Dunstan?
I think I really like, everything like the preparation of the game, the warm up, and um, knowing what you're gonna do and trying to do a good job for the game. I feel like that excites me, and of course, like in the refereeing, it will excite you to go to a good game on a Sunday or a Saturday. So.
Yeah. Rice, are you a shy person?
Um, sometimes.
Sometimes. What gets you out of your shell to do a game? Because when people are shy, they tend to not make a decision right away, kind of thing. But as you know, in football, as an official, whether you're the ref or the referee assistant, you've got to make a decision right away. What you see. So, what gets you out of that shell?
Um, it's just being on the pitch. I even when I played football, I'm always out of my shell. Just being there with people that I know,
Mhm.
it just gives me confidence.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What about you, Dunstan? Getting out of that personal space.
I feel like you always have to have confidence, no matter what. Going into a game, you're going into a game with grown men who've been playing for a long time, who uh who really want to win, and it gets competitive at times. So what gets me out of the shell is just going through the whole process and getting comfort with the field and the other officials and the players, and that gets me out of my shell.
Yeah. What are the well? Obviously, we've had new rules put forth by FIFA. Um, any new rules that have come out that you guys are kind of struggling with personally?
Not really.
Uh, um, I don't think there's any rules that we really struggle with. But we do have to get accustomed with the rules, and we have to make sure we know them. So when we do come into a game situation where we have to, or that rule is implemented, we have to be ready.
Mm. Now that you had time to reflect, Dunstan, the game that you would have officiated in the middle um, last season, uh, how has that changed your perception of officiating men's football?
Well, I did give a red card, and I look back at it, and I feel like I handled myself with pride there, and I wasn't nervous. I um I did everything correctly in that scenario, and yeah, I really enjoyed that game. I look back at it from time to time, just look at some videos from the game or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, and let me ask you, Raiz, because this could possibly happen. If called upon, do you feel confident enough that you understand enough of the rules that you can possibly go in the middle for, say, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I feel like I would manage to be in the middle at the men's level, if even if it was only for like 15, 20 minutes, like you said.
Okay, okay. And obviously, the referee takes control of the game with his or her assistants. Communication. Um, Sometimes you guys have flags that have the buzzers in them, and other times you don't. But communication. How are you managing that? Because when people look at you guys, they look at, oh, there's that young man over there, and so forth, so forth. But the referee, you are the referee assistant, and you're kind of his or her behind the head visionaries. So how do you think communication is working amongst the local officials, Rais?
Um, well, we've been taught if they don't see the flag or something to shout across the field, and if they don't hear, it will be passed along the players. The players will say, "Hey, ref, your linesman has his flag up."
Okay. Okay. And Dunstan, with what you've been going through over the years, have you seen the communication level increase?
I feel like, I mean, you have to communicate. That could be um, like visually. You could a lot of eye contact. People say you have to make eye contact with the referee in the middle, and your as well as your flag. So it all goes. It all ties together into one with communication. We don't have. We normally don't have uh, communication systems during the week. We might not have buzzer flags every week, so it's important to know these little key details to make sure your game goes smoothly.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Dunstan, if there was one rule in football that you would change, what would it be?
I just feel like one rule that I would change is, probably handball. Um, I feel like it's very the rule is it changes a lot. I feel like I wouldn't necessarily like change it. I would just keep everything the same and not change it all the time because it does change quite a bit.
What about you, Rice? What ruling would you change?
Um, I would. I'd probably change the new rule with goalkeepers only being able to hold the ball for 8 seconds. I feel like it shouldn't result in a corner. I feel like it should be an indirect free kick from the halfway line or something. I feel like a corner is a bit too strict.
Oh, okay. That well, yeah. Officials will say it's a chance to speed up the game. Um, but hey, that's your opinion, and I like it. I like it. Um, if there was something you can add to the game as a referee or referee assistant, what would that be, Thais?
Um, I would probably say that hmm,
Not sure.
yeah, not really sure.
Okay. Is there anything you would add, Dunstan?
Um, I would probably add like um, you know, some things to for like the coaching staff. Sometimes they get rowdy at times, so to contain them, I'd add some rules maybe.
Okay. Well, we see internationally, we see more and more things coming into play to kind of pause the game. We have VAR checks. Now FIFA is testing out where coaches can challenge a referee's call, more stoppages. I've asked senior referees, I've asked other officials the same question, and I want to get a youngster's perception because the game should flow. All these stoppages, in my opinion. But let me ask you: are they going too far? Do you think it's going too far with now adding in where a coach could challenge your decision, Dunstan?
Um, I feel like no, because you see it work well in other sports as well. Um, you know, but I feel like we could minimalize or like we could give the coaches some chances to do it, but not all the time it's in the game. And they did it in the under 17 World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches got to do that. But I feel like the game is getting slowed down a lot. Um, but there's not many ways you could do to fix that. But you could add time to the game, and yeah, I think that helps.
Yeah. What about you, Ray?
I feel kind of like what Dunstan was saying, where they should minimize the amount that coaches can challenge for. I feel like it should be maybe like three or four per coach, not just like every 5 minutes the coach saying, "Ref, check this."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're getting to a point where now games are getting to 120 minutes long because of the stoppages and so forth, and football was designed to flow, and they put in one rule to limit to keep the flow with the goalkeeper only being able to hold the ball for 8 seconds. But then you put in this challenge flag that the referee could take up to 5 minutes to decide whether or not he got the call right. If they're going to put in these stoppages, I honestly think they should limit them to a time, 2 minutes. If I can't figure it out in 2 minutes, move on. But that's my opinion. But I do want to say to you two, thank you very much for joining. I want to encourage you to encourage other people to join your ranks, because it can be exciting times ahead for you guys. You see what the three on the FIFA list are doing now. They're constantly being called upon to do international duty outside of Bermuda, which is a reward for what the work they've put in, and what people see in them so far. So the sky's the limit. If you guys want to continue doing it, I would encourage you. If not, I want to thank you. But you always got something to fall back on because you've been through all this, the training with officiating and so forth. So I want to say, keep it going. Enjoy your time doing it. Don't forget your studies. Don't forget school. School's important. How's the grade, Trace?
Doing all right.
Okay, and Dunstan?
Yeah, I manage everything. I'm doing good in school.
Okay, good to hear. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you very much for joining. Folks, we'll be back next week, Monday, with another edition of Excellence in Action, the referee show right here on Islandstats.com. Gentlemen, have a good evening, okay?
Yes, you have a good evening, too.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty.